Here's the full narration. Right now, deep inside your brain, your insula is quietly logging every flutter in your chest, every clench in your gut, every shallow breath, and the neuroscientists who study it admit they still can't fully explain how. They can watch it light up on a scan. They cannot tell you why in that exact instant it decides you need a cigarette, a drink, a scroll, a snack. But high performers have found one way to interrupt it, and by the end of this, you'll know exactly what it is. Somewhere behind your ear, folded deep between your temporal and frontal lobes, this structure is running a live broadcast of your own body, 24 hours a day. It is the reason a bad email makes your stomach drop. It is the reason boredom feels, physically, like something crawling under your skin. Right now, without your permission, it is quietly deciding which sensations deserve your attention and which get buried. Most of what you call gut instinct is not your gut at all. It is this, translating raw internal noise into a feeling you'd swear was a fact. And it is doing this constantly, whether you notice or not. It doesn't just report what's happening in your body. It predicts what's about to happen, and then quietly nudges you toward whatever action would confirm the prediction. Reach for your phone before you've consciously decided to. Snap at someone before you've registered you're angry. That's this structure running ahead of your awareness, writing the ending before you've read the setup. Here's the mechanism, and it's stranger than it sounds. Your heartbeat, your breathing, your blood pressure, the tension sitting in your shoulders, none of that reaches your conscious mind raw. It all funnels first through this one region, which stitches the signals together into something you can actually feel. That stitched-together feeling is what a craving is, not a thought. A body signal manufactured in real time, then handed to you disguised as a decision. Light a cigarette, and long before your hand moves, this structure has already primed the urge, using your own pulse and breath as raw material. You experience it as choice. It started as chemistry, assembled a half-second earlier, somewhere you'll never consciously reach. And here is the part that should unsettle you. In 2007, researchers studying stroke patients found something that should have rewritten addiction medicine overnight. A group of smokers suffered damage to exactly this structure and woke up with their cravings simply gone. No withdrawal, no relapse, no willpower required. The urge had vanished at the source. Neurologists could not replicate it safely in a living, undamaged brain. You cannot surgically silence this region to cure a habit. The same structure that manufactures your cravings also lets you feel love, disgust, and your own heartbeat. Damage it broadly, and you don't just lose the addiction. You lose the ability to feel yourself from the inside. So the obvious advice is to tune in more, meditate, breathe, sit with the sensation. And for years, that's exactly what got prescribed. But here's the twist almost nobody publishes. For people already prone to anxiety or panic, turning up the volume on internal sensations can backfire completely. Hyper-focusing on your own heartbeat and breath is the same mechanism that fuels panic attacks. More raw awareness with no filter just feeds the alarm louder. The fix was never simply listen to your body. Listening without structure can make the craving or the panic worse, not better. What actually works is narrower and stranger. High performers who have studied this don't try to silence the sensation. They interrupt the translation step, the moment raw body noise becomes a story you believe. The technique has two parts. First, a physical reset, one deep inhale through the nose, a second short inhale stacked on top, then a long, slow exhale through the mouth. This single breathing pattern measurably drops the nervous system arousal this structure is reading from, cutting the raw signal it has to work with. Second, and this is the part almost nobody does, name the sensation in one word, silently, the instant it appears. Tight, hot, restless, nothing more. Labeling a raw body signal engages the exact prefrontal circuits that keep this structure from running unchecked, turning a vague, overwhelming urge into a small, nameable, temporary event. Cravings built this way peak and dissolve in under 2 minutes if you don't feed them a second interpretation. High performers aren't stronger-willed. They've simply learned to catch the signal before it becomes a story, and they do it so early and so often that over months the whole loop gets quieter on its own. Try it tonight the next time any urge hits for a snack, your phone, a drink you don't need. Don't fight it and don't obey it. Do the double inhale, long exhale. Name the sensation in one word. Then set a 90-second timer and simply watch what happens to it. You are not suppressing a craving. You are catching your own brain mid-translation before the story finishes writing itself. But this structure isn't working alone. Every signal it manufactures gets forwarded instantly to a smaller structure buried even deeper, one that decides whether what you're feeling is merely uncomfortable or an emergency worth panicking over. And that structure has a malfunction of its own.